What if we think good thoughts? You're allowed to think the good thoughts, and you're allowed to choose to only think the good thoughts. My sister and I are so like, it's just uncanny how often we're going through the exact same emotional roller coaster at any given time. I guess it's because we come from the same parents, we have the same trauma responses, or maybe it's our Jewish heritage, but we have always thought that we can protect ourselves with bad thoughts. Hear me out. Like, if we go ahead and think them, maybe they won't happen. Maybe we can ward off tragedy if we already accept tragedy. And we've both experienced tragedy. And guess what? That shit didn't help at all. When you think the thoughts, you're actually living it. And as much as you can be thinking about a tragedy, you are actually physically experiencing that tragedy in your body. Your body doesn't know the difference. I've always been surprised by people on the news or whatever, like, oh, I never thought it would happen to me. I always think it's going to happen to me. I live my entire life assuming, of course, it's going to happen to me. So I've always chosen this barrier, this protection of playing out the worst case scenario. Because if I can survive that, maybe I can survive anything. Y'all, it's time to change methodologies. It's time to just believe good thoughts because you can't prepare for the bad stuff. It's taken me over half my life to realize I actually do get to choose the mood that I want to be in. I don't have to be a victim to my thoughts because that's all they are. And what happens if we do choose a better scenario? It's all make-believe anyway. What happens if something happens to us that we're unsure about? Instead of playing out all the ways that that person didn't care about us, or that person doesn't want us anymore, or they meant to do us harm. So what's the harm in deciding, yeah, that's not true? And what if by choosing the good thoughts, by choosing the better outcome, by choosing positivity and choosing to be happy, we actually are the change. We actually make it happen. I've actually had it happen. I was having a terrible day, but I was supposed to be meeting my son for lunch. And I called my sister. I said, I don't want to ruin this chance to enjoy time with my son. I don't get it that often, but I'm in a shitty mood. And she said, what if you just decide to be happy? What if you just put it all out of your head and know that everything is fleeting? Everything's going to work out, and just tell yourself to be happy because that's the memory you want to have. And I tried it. Be happy, be happy, be happy, be happy, be happy. The negative thoughts were creeping in, all the stresses I had that day, and I keep pushing them away and pushing away. I'm going to be happy, 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 happy. I had the best day. I really did. I enjoyed my lunch. I felt present. I was completely in it. And I managed to push all of those thoughts away because they weren't relevant in that moment anyway. I felt like I lifted 100 pounds or more. I felt like I lifted the weight off my shoulders. So give yourself the gift of not being omnipotent. Give yourself the gift of being freaking clueless because you don't know. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what they're thinking. You don't know nothing. You can make up stories for anything. So let's make good ones. Let's just make up good ones because what does it matter? It's all make-believe anyway. I've wasted so much time thinking the bad thoughts, preparing for the worst thing, interpreting everything as negatively as I possibly could so that I could be delightfully surprised when it wasn't as bad as I thought. What a freaking waste. And maybe if you make up a good story, it'll come true. You never know, but what do you have to lose? I mean, a bad mood? Let's ditch it. So let's give ourselves permission to choose the good thoughts. Think the good thoughts. Be the good thoughts. Let's just do it. Let's just decide today that with all the interpretations of anything that is coming at us in our lives, we get to choose the good thoughts. Let me know how it goes for you.